Hello, and welcome back to Spiritual Warrior Tarot. I am here continuing the chakra series, and today we're going to be talking about the heart chakra. And you'll see I am wearing green and pink in honor of this chakra. And so this is Anahata, which means unstruck or unhurt. And basically this implies that beneath all of the hurts and pains and grievances of our past experiences lies a pure and spiritual place where no hurt exists at all. And so this is about opening yourself to love, and this is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. So with the seven chakras, the seven main chakras, I should say, the three bottom, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, those are our physical chakras, our roots, rooting us to the earth, our safety, our stability, our sacral being our creative portal, birthing life into our own creations, and then the solar plexus being the will, the action, the fire, the confidence to actually bring those things into the world. And then you have the top three, so the throat, the third eye, and then the crown, which we will talk about in later videos. And the heart chakra is the bridge between both. This is where the physical meets the spiritual. And so in almost every case, if you have a blocked heart chakra, it's probably going to be difficult to open the rest. And usually what happens is if there's like a blocked chakra, the energy from the other ones around it try to give their energy to it to kind of pump it up. So then the other, that one chakra giving more of its energy away is kind of lessened. So that's why it's really important to have this one to be open. And I feel like it's probably one of the most important ones, you know, especially being the bridge, the connector to all of it. And so this is the center of your chest, so your heart, your cardiac plexus, your thymus gland, your lungs, your breasts if you're a woman, and it rules the lymphatic system too as well, and your blood. And so when the heart chakra is open, obviously we're flowing and full of love and compassion, and you're quick to forgive and accept yourself and others. And so a closed heart chakra breeds grief, anger, jealousy, fear of betrayal, hatred towards yourself and others, and it's very, very strongly blocked by grief. Also shame a little bit, but shame is more, I think, the sacral chakras area. But, you know, I see a lot of people go through this where they don't really want to give up their hurts and their pains, and it's really hard for them to forgive other people for things that have happened to them. And so some choose to live in this place, and they've been hurt in the past by friends and parents and other family and siblings and romantic relationships, and then they hold on to it and they don't heal, they don't forgive, they don't allow themselves to feel it and let it go. And so just remember that it's your choice what you do with the pain and with the hurt that you experience in your life. You get to choose what to do with the pain. You know, some may choose to hurt back, and I've seen this a lot, because it's like when you don't allow yourself to feel and to heal it, you hold on to it, so then it kind of breeds and it spreads within you. Cancer. It's a little joke, but seriously, and it spreads within you, and then you exude that out to other people because you've been hurt and you haven't healed that. And so, you know, some may choose to hurt back, and I see this a lot of times, but just remember, the person who inflicts pain is actually coming from fear and hatred and ignorance and pain, and all are indicators of a closed heart chakra. And so as humans, we want love, and we're made to give love. I mean, you see people with their children, you know, it's like, I don't have children, but what I've heard, the experience is like after you have kids is like you didn't realize there was that much love inside of you, and or you didn't realize that you could love another person or thing that much. So I believe we're made to love, and when we experience pain and hurt, which we all do in our lives, nobody is an exception of this, you know, we either choose to hold on to it and attach to it and own it and allow it to become a part of us, or we are able to look at it in another way and see how we can forgive, how we can heal, how we can release and let it go. And an overactive heart chakra looks like dependence on others to feel love or feel fulfilled, high expectations of yourself and of other people, and almost always holding people to a high standard that is unfair. Because if you want to hold yourself to a certain high standard, that's fine, but trying to hold another person to that standard and say you need to show me this much love, blah blah blah, like that's a sign of an overactive heart chakra, because you're not giving it to yourself. Like there's so much, and you're projecting onto other people to give back what you actually really are yearning for from yourself. And needing acceptance, needing to be accepted. And I think a lot of us experience this too as we're growing up. I mean, high school is like the breeding ground for this. It's like, I feel like high school is like, okay, how much can I ignore myself to fit in and be accepted by other people? Anyways, so I think this is really huge and needs to be looked at by a lot of people, because, you know, it's really tough. And just as an example, before my spiritual journey, you know, I was betrayed by two people that I loved very dearly, and it was, you know, there was red flags, so many red flags that I just ignored, and I didn't listen to my heart. And so after all the pain, you know, obviously I was like, I can't believe you did this to me. It's your fault. All this pain that I feel, I can't, you know, work a job because now I'm so mentally disheveled, and I just feel so depressed that I can't even hold a job. So then, you know, I couldn't hold a job. I lost like everything. And then I started using drugs to numb all of the pain, intense pain and hurt that I felt from what happened to me. So it was really, really hard, but it was helpful when somebody kind of was like, take responsibility for that happening to you. And I was like, well, I basically didn't ask for abuse. I didn't ask for betrayal, but that was very painful, and I wanted to hide away from it. But when I felt with it, when I sat with it and I fell into it, I was able to, it's almost like you split and you detach from blaming and complaining, and then you're able to come around, look at yourself, and take responsibility for that happening to you. And so obviously it was painful at first, but then I realized, wait, I wasn't respecting myself. I was ignoring the red flags. And so if I would have opened up and listened, I never would have even allowed these people in my life long enough to hurt me and to continue hurting me. So that's why I think this is like hugely, hugely important, because that's a pattern. That's a programming we've grown up with, and we've learned that when somebody does something to you, it's their fault. Well, more times than not, like, you're the one who attracted that, because everything is energy. And again, if this is a trigger for anybody listening to this, then you definitely have a blocked heart chakra, and you definitely need to do some work to feel into that and see how you were maybe participating in the hurt and allowing that to come to you. And before anybody gets angry, I'll just tell you, I went through the same thing, because I literally said, I didn't attract somebody to beat me and abuse me. But then after a lot of soul searching and heart work, I was able to turn around and look at how I did participate, how I did allow that person into my life when many people were like, that's a bad person. And I thought, oh no, I'm different. Like, they're going to treat me different. No. And I stayed. I allowed myself to stay because I kept thinking that it wasn't me. But I was definitely like I played a role. How did you play a role in the hurt that you experienced? And so another thing I would like to talk about is if, a family member or a close friend repeats a pattern of hurt and disrespect to you, you can give them love from a distance. You need to set boundaries. This is really, really huge. And when someone hurts you, most of the time it's about them. But in this particular case, your responsibility is to set boundaries with that person. So you can't continue to say, well, they're really shitty to me, or they're really crappy to me over and over and over again, and they are just, it's all them, it's their fault, they're a bad person. How are you participating? How are you still in that relationship with somebody if they're treating you badly? And even if it's a family member, you can set boundaries with them. I have dealt with this and I have done it. It needs to be done. Take responsibility, please, because there's only healing in that. Because taking responsibility and setting the boundaries, you then realize how you play a role. And that is the only time when you are able to then change the pattern of behavior, whether it's you allowing these people into your life or if it's you giving out the pain and the hurt to other people because you're hurt. Okay, so, don't close yourself off to love. Still give that person love even if they hurt you, but set your boundaries and keep them at a distance. To create openness and cultivate, empathy and compassion, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. I know this is very difficult, but this is what helped me in releasing my road rage. This was like the beginning steps of it, and being able to cultivate more compassion and be a more loving, compassionate person. When somebody cuts you off, before you start your role of negative cussing, I'll say, and saying, F you, you're a moron, you don't know how to drive, blah, 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 blah. Think about it. Maybe they're late for work. Maybe they just got really bad news from the doctor. Maybe they're rushing home because their kid got hurt. Maybe their kid got into a fight at school and they're rushing to go pick them up. Like, there's many, many things. And my point with this is we can all be that other person. And what helped me is to when I started doing this, the next time I cut somebody off and was driving like a jerk, I was like, ooh, I felt that hard. And I was like, okay, I don't really have any leg to stand on when it comes to yelling at other people and telling them they're driving like a moron because I was just driving like an a-hole. So this obviously works with road rage, but it can work in every single part of your life. So if somebody budges you in line at the grocery store, or if somebody doesn't say excuse me when they're, walking by you or something, because I've definitely seen people get angry about that. Oh, you couldn't say excuse me? Relax. Maybe that person's having a really bad day. Maybe they just got divorced, or maybe somebody just broke up with them. You never know. And so if you're having a bad day, you probably would really wish that people would just kind of give you a break. So flip that, and that definitely helps. Okay, so moving on. With this chakra being in this area of the heart, the physical symptoms that will show up if you have a blocked heart chakra: asthma, heart issues, circulation, low or poor blood circulation, and a lowered immune system in general, breathing problems. And then some other traits are shyness, loneliness, depression, anxiety. All comes from a blocked heart chakra because you're not able to fully support, love, and accept yourself and forgive yourself for past behaviors, actions, words that you've said. None of us are perfect, and we all deserve love. We all deserve forgiveness, and it needs to first come from ourselves. And again, we all encounter pain and feelings of being hurt in our lives. Nobody is an exception of this, but what matters is what we do with it. You can choose to feel it fully, sit with it, and detach, I feel like sitting with it and feeling it helps to be more of an objective observer instead of judging the pain or what we did or what somebody else did. When you sit with it and you're able to feel it, you're able to release it from your well-being or hold onto them, again. Cancer. By letting go, you're able to open your heart to love, new experiences, and that bring you joy and compassion and understanding. And it's as easy as making a choice. Your mind and your ego will probably be shouting all of the reasons why you shouldn't forgive something or somebody, but that's your ego, and it's your choice. It's as simple as letting go and choosing to walk away and move on, because you deserve a better life, and to not hang on to hurt and anger. Own up to your responsibility of if you have set boundaries or not with people who are hurting you. And don't close yourself off to love. Still give love to that person, but from afar. Smile. Forgive, move on. Life is short. Give your friends and family positive feedback. If you're somebody who tends to be pretty critical, maybe try to choose some more positive, encouraging words, because then it'll end up coming back to you. And this is a lovely homework assignment. Try to go one day in a week without complaining or criticizing another thing or person or circumstance, or yourself especially. And yes, I'm serious about this. Try it. It's not easy. And if you're listening to this and you think, oh, that's easy, I'd like to hear how your experience goes with it. So yeah, try to go one day without complaining or criticizing one thing, and you'll quickly see how much we really do hold ourselves in a pattern of only seeing the worst or the negative or being pessimistic. Okay, so the color of that correlates to the heart chakra is green and pink, love. So it's like an emerald color. The element for this chakra is air. So what do we breathe? Air goes into our lungs. What element rules the mind? Air. So there's an important connection between the two here. And if you're an overthinker like me, you've probably been in situations where you're like overthinking to death, and like it gets you into a lot of trouble, and it gets you into like a depressive mode where you're really down on yourself and really giving yourself really high expectations and being really hard. And so I recommend connecting the two and working on listening from a space here and not here. And I've been actually working with this for the last couple months, and it's really been helpful when my ego starts to go on high alert, like, you need to be mad at this person. You need to be mad at this situation. I will just pause and I will take a few deep breaths, maybe put my hand here, close my eyes, and feel into it. And feel into what is really here. And it's really been powerful for me, because I think like the last 3 times I did it, I automatically calmed down and my perception of the situation or the person changed. And so this is huge, huge and enormous. Okay. So the sound or chant is yam. So YAM or YUM, however that works for you. But chanting this in meditation over and over again with like an om, and it's basically like a drawn out. As you say it, you draw it out, and then as you exhale, you allow it to fade naturally. And doing this over and over again stimulates this area of your body and the energy in this area here. And so also the yoga poses associated with the heart chakra and to help open the heart chakra are any poses that really expose the chest. So camel pose, sphinx pose, standing bow, or cow. So, and if you've ever heard of cat cow, that's really, really popular in yoga. And that's like really, really huge. And I love that one. So again, any kind of yoga pose that really exposes the chest. And again, I will recommend Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. She has tons of foundations for yoga videos, so like that will actually help you to it helps to explain the pose. And then she has actual, and not just her, many yoga people online have different like videos that are designed to stimulate the chakras. So I would definitely look into that if you're looking for a little bit more heart love. And so the crystals or gemstones associated with this chakra are, mostly green, aventurine, emerald, malachite, jade, and then beautiful, beautiful rose quartz. And I just happen to have one right here with me, and I just love this. It's called picture window quartz, I believe is what the guy called it. And when I hold it up to the light, I can see like the layers inside the crystal, and it's just so beautiful. So rose quartz is a beautiful pink, and this is probably the best stone for cultivating more self-love and love in general. Because obviously, if we're looking for love, the right love will not come if we're blocked off and if we're not loving ourselves completely. I will definitely be a guinea pig for that and let you know that that is exactly what happened for me. So it's like you're looking for love. That's why they say you're looking for love in all the wrong places, because the love needs to come from here. It needs to come from yourself first, and then your energy emits and you attract the perfect person for you, or somebody who's more on your level. And so some meditation visuals are cleaning a green crystal, like in your mind, doing the yam chant, like while you're meditating. An affirmation, which is really great, is I am open to receive love from myself and others. Huge. And I would definitely suggest writing this down and putting it somewhere you can see it every day, like your bathroom mirror or in your car. Also, seeing a green light as you inhale and exhale, like from your chest area, is also really powerful. Thinking about bringing love in from the universe and then emitting love as well. Because again, like I said, if you're actually looking for a romantic relationship that's perfect for you, you need to love first. It needs to be cultivated and come from here, so then you can put it out and it'll attract that person back to you. Holding your heart while breathing and feeling into it is very, very huge. If you're not into meditating, this alone will definitely help, because it allows you to sit with your emotion and sit with what the heart really wants and what it feels. And this is really powerful work. And emotions will come up. I promise you. Let yourself cry. This BS about men are not supposed to cry or feel emotions is just so backwards thinking. Like, it's just ridiculous. I can't even believe that it's become that it became such a repetitive cultural norm. And I do believe that we need to have certain strengths to stand up for ourselves and our family and our communities. But courage, which comes from the word cœur in French, which is heart, the thing that cultivates courage the most is vulnerability. And if you haven't heard Brene Brown's talk on courage, please go do so. It's huge and it's very intelligent and informative. But the only way to really cultivate compassion and courage is to be vulnerable. So allow yourself to feel anything that comes up if you do any of these exercises. And any green foods will definitely help in boosting the energy in this area. So any dark leafy greens, veggies, green fruits, avocado, and there's also superfood supplements that you can just like add to foods like spirulina, chlorella, any green herbs, and matcha and green tea is also very helpful. So that is about it for this video on the heart chakra. I hope it was helpful for any of you out there looking for more information. There's tons of information online. You could read up more, but it's very, very important to cultivate and strengthen this area, this energy center of the body, in order to open the rest and be balanced. And for anybody wondering, this is Peridot, another green crystal that is lucky and abundant. That's the energy of this. So that's all I have for you on the heart chakra. I hope this was helpful again, and I will see you in the next video for the throat chakra. Take care.